Welcome to my video presentation. I'm hoping to achieve by doing this that you will have the knowledge of the history of digital compositing, as well as basically why do we use special effects, and will we keep on using it in the future, and basically showing off some special effects that I just did for this video for you. I hope you learn quite a lot while you're watching this, and feel free to answer anything if you don't understand, if it's too technical. Just let me know and I will explain it at the very end of the video to the best of my knowledge. So sit back, keep your ears on, well, just listen and enjoy and learn. That's what I'm hoping this video will do, just learn something new. So yeah, I'm going to just continue on to the history coming up next, and yeah, well, enjoy. History lesson, yeah, the whole special effects went way back, almost to the very beginning of filmmaking. There was a couple of famous producers decided to create new awesome stuff. So I am not very good at sitting talking to the camera because I forget what I'm going to say. So I have a friend in who's going to help me, and his name is called Suri. Suri, you may recognize his voice, maybe not or so, but he's a great help to me. So here, Suri.
Hello, Jamie.
Yeah. Will you explain the history
on filmmaking?
Of George, the film in 1898.
Four heads are better than one.
Yes, that's the one.
In the 1898 there was a film called
Let me put you on screen here.
Okay.
Right. Do you
Tell me when.
Yeah, now you can say it. Right, go.
In the 1898 there was a film called Four Heads Are Better Than One. It was one of the... Now what?
It's not working. I can see this weird recording and they can't see what we're doing, so just let me just flip it around. There you go.
In the 1898 there was a film called Four Heads Are Better Than One. It was one of the first visual effects by using one double exposure by using a single film. The film was made by a man called George Méliès. He used a glass frame and painted black where he was not using in this shot. Then he swapped the glass frame over and repeat the process to where he wanted the visual effects. This method was long and time consuming. If you make a mistake you have to do it all from the start again.
Thank you, sir, for that history lesson. What about the Great Train Robbery? How did they do that? You know, the one with that Parker guy, he did it.
Edwin S. Porter.
Yes, that's him. Would you like to explain it to them?
Yes, okay.
Yes, thank you.
In 1903, a man called Edwin S. Porter made the iconic film called The Great Train Robbery. In the scene where you can see the train through the window was done through double exposure. This method was the same as George Méliès' method with the black painted frame. Also in the early 19th century, filmmakers was testing out new methods, but one in particular, an early filmmaker, Norman Don, used the technique of painting background or foreground objects, etc., on a piece of glass between which he was shooting it, and he can move the glass closer to the camera or further away depending on what size he wanted from the image on the glass. This method is called matte paintings.
Oh, you finished, sir. Good. What about the history of the black screen? Black screen?
Black screen method.
Yeah, would you like to explain that for me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
This method was hard to do because you have to keep the camera very still and nothing must not pass the subject while filming. This black screen method was used in F.W. Murnau's movie Sunrise in 1927. In the scene where the couple is working through the road and cars are driving by, this scene was shot using the black screen, which was a black background, and the couple was lit up, making the couple to stand out. They copied the film to increasingly high contrast negatives until a black and white silhouette emerged, and they used that as the matte. This is called traveling matte because it moved throughout the frames. They also used this method in the famously film called The Invisible Man in 1933 by John P. Fulton, in the scene where the Invisible Man was taking off his clothes, and you can see right through him. The black screen method was used by wearing a black velvet suit standing against a black background.
Sorry, thank you for that allo lesson. Now, what about the whole blue screen and black and white? How did they do that, or do you know anything about that?
Yes, the Dunning process.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
This method was used in the iconic movie King Kong in 1933. This method was done by a blue background and the subject you are filming in yellow lights by using color filters. This was called the Dunning process, but there was a problem with this process because it only worked on black and white films.
What about the blue screen in color? How did they do that?
In color films, they had to create a new method by using a 3-strip Technicolor process, which by using red, green, and blue film strips. So they used a blue background, because blues was the farthest away from skin color, and blue was separated from the 3 Technicolor negatives and creating a silhouette matte. They used a new invention which can combine multiple film strips into one. This new piece of technology was called optical printer. This process had problems, but you can see a thin blue line around the subject in most scenes as well. It can't handle any fine details like smoke or hair.
Thank you, sir, but I've heard something about yellow screening. I'm not too sure what is that. Can you explain it to me and the audience?
Yes, the sodium vapor lights.
Yes.
This method was created in the late 50s, was developed by Vlejas. By using ultraviolet light, the subjects will stand in front of a white screen which was lit up by a powerful sodium vapor lights, which was like the orange streetlights you see everywhere. So by using a coated prism and old 3-strip Technicolor camera, this made the sodium vapor light to split off and captured into a special black and white film, making a black and white silhouette traveling matte. But this method was only used by Walt Disney because they owned the only camera there was, and they did not rent it out cheap.
So I was right, there was yellow screening.
Yes, you were.
Okay, now maybe you can probably explain it a bit more better than I can. The whole green screening, how does that work and how does that affect the way we use movies now?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, sir.
Green screen was applied for digital takeover, and new terminologies was created with this new digital era. For example, chroma key, which is now referred to green screening. With this digital age, the cameras turned digital, and in these cameras they picked up green colors more brightly than the others, making the green screening easier to create the perfect CGI background.
So why do we use special effects? Well, people like to go in the cinema and watching their fantasies, and to watch their fantasies to kind of come realistic is kind of sweet, even only for a couple of hours. That you could be flying through space, or you'd be walking along with dinosaurs. So yeah, we can't really live without special effects these days. But there is some movies out there who doesn't actually use special effects, but they're kind of very legal these days. So why do we use them for? Well, basically to show off our dreams, to live our dreams, and even though it's not reality, it's still somewhere nice to go away for a couple of hours, even it is only through a screen. So why not? The plus side about it is you're sitting there watching a big epic movie, like anything epic, and you're totally out of this world and it blows your fucking mind off, and you sat there, you're thinking, imagine if that was pure real. Imagine spaceships coming and it looks so real. It makes you believe a bit more what actually truly could be out there. The negative side is if the film isn't really that good and the special effects in it is a bit rubbish and you can see it, well, it could make the movie a wee bit hard to watch, and Yeah, I may not enjoy it because you can see all the bad stuff. But in the good side is if the movie's good and you can't see the special effects in it at all, well, sort of makes the whole going to the cinema watching a movie, well, worth it. Well, that's what I think. I don't know about you guys, but that's personally what I think. My conclusion on the visual special effects is that most TV series, movies, even wedding movies sometimes depend a wee bit too much on the special effects. Even the little things like little extra glass on the table or an extra picture on the wall, like we're coming to an age that everything's gonna be all, well, after effects, possibly. I don't know. Um, Maybe in the near future that most films, possibly all the films what you see in the movies will be all visual effects be added into it. So yeah, that is my conclusion of that. So I think we append too much. Even as a viewer, we kind of like to see the visual effects ourselves so we know what we're looking at. It's kind of our age, what kind of scares us, how are we gonna make the next movie out of this world. It's coming to a stage that is kind of nothing's gonna shock us because we know what to expect when we go to the cinema. Well, that is what I personally think. So I'm sure you guys probably have the same answer and I have. So yeah, thanks. Um, Also, I want to say thank you to Suri for helping me out with the history of it. And yeah, um, feel free to ask me any questions. I'd be happy enough to answer to the best of my knowledge as I can. So, thanks for watching.